Hello everyone and happy Friday. Welcome back to Crypto Empire, where we dominate the crypto market. My name is Connor, the Crypto Emperor, and I am your host for today's live stream. This is an impromptu live stream. I do want to talk about a lot of things today because it's a very exciting time in the crypto market. So we have a ton to talk about, a lot of scheduled content. I want to welcome everybody to today's live stream. Big shout out to Dre, big shout out to Expendable Youth, big shout out to everybody in the live audience right now. If you're just tuning in, be sure to smash that like button. Let's not waste any time and get right into the live stream, starting off with our crypto market overview. So looking at Bitcoin trading at $18,784 at a very critical support level. It's a very interesting time in crypto. It's a very interesting spot that the market is in right now, because if we just briefly look at the chart, of course we'll be getting into our Bitcoin technical analysis in just one moment. But if we briefly look at this chart, Bitcoin right now is at a critical support level below $19,000 here. The low of the bear market so far is $17,500. Bitcoin is right there, almost at that level. So this is an inflection point. Either we pump or we break through this support level and we make new lows. So there's a lot of confusion, a lot of conflicting signals and opinions, but I'm going to cut through all the noise in this stream and let you know exactly what you do need to know as we head into the weekend and we close out the month of September. We'll get into the charts in just one moment. Looking at the other coins on the market, Ethereum trading for $1,298, BNB $272, and of course XRP, talk of the town right now, 47 cents. XRP right now is all speculation that the lawsuit with the SEC is going to come to an end, and that XRP will be declared a commodity and not a security. We don't know that yet for sure. This price action is all speculation in anticipation of a favorable result. We'll be hopping into the charts to go over the exact details about that in just one moment. Other than that, our top 10 is relatively the same. If we look at the 24-hour gainers, we have the banker coins all making noise right now. Look at the top gainers for the day. CRO, right? CRO, major exchange. A lot to talk about with that in terms of connections with these other ones like XDC, XRP. We have Chili's. Chili's one of the strongest coins in the market for some time over the past few months. We also have coins like Algorand, major banker coin there. Okay, so banker coins absolutely pumping today. If you've been subscribed to Crypto Empire over the last few months at the minimum, I've been saying this for quite a while now, I have been discussing the banker coin bull run. Right, banker coins, things like XRP, XDC, XLM, Quant, HBAR, the kind of the centralized coins that have a lot of connections with the legacy banking system, why I call them banker coins. These are all in the spotlight because of what's happening with the central bank digital currencies. All right, and I have predicted for some time now that these would have their day in the sun and perform very well when the mainstream narrative really focuses on these CBDCs, and that's starting to happen right now. It's still super early. It could be the start of the run, or it could just be speculation and fizzle out into nothing. Regardless, we've been talking about it for a while now here at Crypto Empire. Looking at today's losers, we have Leo, that's the Bitfinex exchange token, down 14% on the day. This thing hasn't dropped this much in a very long time. Usually it's just sideways, so interesting to see Leo down 14%. Somebody big must have sold. We also have Evmos, Terra Luna Classic, Cosmos Atom, all down slightly today. So the decentralized coins down, and the centralized coins are up. Very interesting time in the market. And one of my favorites over here, very good coin, RVN Raven coin, down 2.9% on the day. I'll be showing you my chart on that. Interesting chart. So that's our crypto market overview. Like I said, we're at a major inflection point in the market, sitting on this major support level. Let's catch up with the chat very quickly. We have Glasshopper77 saying, let's get some hype in this chat empire. Absolutely, let's get some hype in the chat. Let's see some flame emojis, some of those bangs, some of those hands up. Let's see them all in the live chat right now. Get some hype in there. Good to see you, Glasshopper77. We also have Elvis saying, good day, guys. Elvis, good to see you, my brother. Thank you for being here, supporting the stream. Smash up that like button if you haven't already. We have Dalton with us today saying, what's up, Empire fam? What's going on, Dalton? We also have Alla. We have Dev saying, what's your take on Hex? Can it drop to 1 cent? I think it could. I'll show you the chart in a little bit. And Alla saying, everyone is bearish. More sideways action to come. Good question, Alla. Let's go over that with our Bitcoin technical analysis right now. So, looking at Bitcoin on the daily chart, let's go to the Coinbase chart where it's a little bit cleaner. All right, and I have some more arrows here to go over. So Bitcoin here on the daily price chart, high end of the range up here at $25,300. Low end of the range is, of course, $17,500, but that's just the low wick. Really, the main support is right here at around $18,800, $18,750 as well. As you can see where we stand, price is right here at the bottom of the range. So this is a major long-term higher time frame support level. These support levels tend to be very strong and they take multiple attempts to break through. Obviously here we have attempted to break down below this level, below $18,000, $18,800 multiple times at this point, right? We have this test, this test, this test, that's 4, and then there's like 5 candles that are all bouncing off of it. All right, so this is a major support level being tested right now. Really only 2 things could happen. Well, there's always 3 outcomes in the market, right? There's always 3 universal outcomes, up, down, or sideways. But when we're at a major support level like this, it's either going to go up or down. It's either going to break through or it's going to bounce. All right, if it goes sideways, it's still going to bounce and go sideways like this. So really only 2 things can happen right now. Either we pump or we dump. Now, with the Federal Reserve announcing that 75 basis point rate hike, that's very bearish for risk on assets. We're still in a largely risk off macroeconomic environment. When we look at the full global geopolitical landscape, everything going on over in Russia and Ukraine, right? There's rumors that that's going to get worse. Who knows what's going to happen? Nobody can predict. You know, that's pure game theory at play right there. So nobody can really predict what's going to happen there, but that can get worse. Right? Also, I do want to show you, if we look at the stock market and we zoom this out to a very large 1-month time frame. If we look at the ES, which is the S&P 500 futures contract, and we draw a channel, I'll redraw this for all you guys. So if we draw a channel going back to the March 2020 lows, like so, and we connect the lowest wick over here, right? Connect this wick here. We got a very nice ascending channel, a very clear ascending channel. Very obvious. Now, if we do some analysis on this channel, we can see that price has broken the midline. All right, usually in these channels, the midline acts as a major support resistance level. That's pretty obvious here. Everybody should be able to see that from our live audience watching from home, or if you're catching the replay later on. All right, so mid-range used as support and resistance all the time when we see these huge channels, okay? Whether it's ascending or descending. Now, as you can see, price went ahead and on the monthly was using the mid-range as a support resistance flip. Now it lost mid-range. All right, where's the obvious place it's going to go to after it does lose the mid-range? The bottom of the range, all right? That's going to be down here around 1,300 on the ES S&P, and that does line up very well with this level right here at 3250 about. All right, let's put this line right at 3250 for simplicity's sake. Why am I showing you the stock market if we are a cryptocurrency channel, you're probably asking? Well, if you were brand new and you didn't know, the stock market and crypto, Bitcoin, they are very highly correlated. Meaning when the stock market does one thing, typically Bitcoin will follow in that same direction. So this is kind of a leading indicator for what happens with crypto. There's a high level of correlation here. That's why we always want to look at it and pay attention to what's going on. That's why I'm showing you it right now. All right, so if we look at this, the next obvious point to come down to is going to be around 3250 down here. We also have this level, right? You can't ignore this one here at 3500. And if I zoom this down to a lower time frame, say on the 3-day, and if we do get a strong move down to this 32 or 3500, this could form some kind of bullish divergence. So let's watch out for that, right? It's definitely possible that something like that happens. So this is still being written as we go, but keep in mind, stocks look very, very bearish right now as we do head into this weekend, all right? Monthly candle for September, pretty dismal. And even on the daily time frame, right, it's just been a free fall since we lost this support level, right? As you can see, we were in the sideways box. Price went ahead and lost the support level, all right? So enough about the stock market. I just wanted to show you that because there's such a high level of correlation to Bitcoin, Ethereum, and the rest of the cryptocurrencies to the ES, the NQ, the YM, etc. All right, always good to watch both. Now, if we head over back to Bitcoin, Bitcoin hasn't lost its critical support level yet. It's right at it at the moment, right? If we go to this chart here, right, I lined up this trade last night in the Discord. Little short, working out right now. I'll discuss that in a little bit. But yeah, Bitcoin right now, very interesting spot. All right, so we have to see what's going to happen heading into the weekend. If you want to carry risk into the weekend with a shorter term trade, that's completely up to you. But a lot of people are calling for a bullish weekend. I'm not so sure about that, right? There's no significant edge in play right now to make me think, oh yeah, we're definitely going to pump. So if you decide that we're going to pump, if you think we're going to go long, you need to have a tight stop, right? You cannot just let it run freely. Personally, I'm leaning more on the short side. I am leaning more on the bearish side of things here. So Bitcoin on the lower time frames, very simple. Below 19,500, which is right here, this yellow dotted line, things are bearish. Things are very bearish below 19.5. If Bitcoin cannot close above on at least the 4-hour time frame, above 19,500 and then flip it to support, this is going to nuke, all right? This is going to melt down. I think that the lower support over here at 17.5 is going to get melted through. Everything right now in the short term is reliant on this line here at $19,500 on Bitcoin. This is the level to watch. Obviously here in the daily chart, we got rejected from it last night, all right, which is why I outlined a few shorts in my Discord. But yeah, 19.5 was rejected last night. Also, if we look, we can pull a fib. Always important to pull fibs if you use the Fibonacci. And if we pull a fib, it looks better on ETH. But we did just cross over the golden pocket right to this level. All right, regardless, 19.5 is your main level. Below $19,500 on Bitcoin, I'm bearish. Plain and simple. Keep it simple. All right, we get back above 19.5 and we close above it on the 4-hour. Then we can start talking about some longs. But as it stands right now, this doesn't look very good on the long side. Also, if we look at Ethereum over here went ahead, and last night, if we go to the hourly chart, ETH, really the main level on ETH is $1,400. On Bitcoin, it's 19.5. ETH, local main level, $1,400. If price cannot reclaim $1,400, again, I expect this to get very ugly quite quickly. So keep that in mind. Mark it on your own chart. If we look on ETH and we pull a fib from this fractal, you can see the golden pocket right here at 1350, about just below 1350. Price was rejected from that last night, okay? Went ahead and rolled over, back down to lower support over here at 1260. So now what happens? Well, we're back down to the lower critical support level. Price trying to bounce, but look at this descending volume. All right, price bouncing on volume like this is typically a weak sign, right? You want to see buyers actually step in. And remember, volume is never an indicator. Volume is not an indicator. Volume is a statistic. So we use this statistic to base our decisions of what may happen in the future. When we have buying at a support level very weak like we have right now during the prime trading hours, that's not necessarily a great thing for the bulls. We want to see the buyers step in strong at these support levels. All right, so volume is typically a leading indicator, and when we're at a support level and the buying is super weak, it's not a good sign. Usually, probability wise, I would expect the selling to continue when we have weak buying at support like we have right now. But that's still up in the air. It could change very quickly. It can change in an instant. So we need to keep close tabs on this Ethereum chart. Regardless, price was rejected from this the 61.8 up here at around 1360. Now, like I said, $1,400 is the main level on ETH. Let's zoom this out to a daily time frame. All right, so since the merge, ETH has been pretty much down only. That was a sell the news event. And if you just look at where we are in the daily time frame, right, when we were in this oscillating kind of cylinder cone over here back in June and very early July, and the upper end of that range was right at our current support level where price is. This is right here at around $1,200 to $1,300. All right. So typically previous tops become new bottoms. Think of it as more of a support resistance flip. That's exactly what's happening right now. Okay. Just look at the chart, super obvious. Previous top of the range, previous resistance now being used as support here on the daily. So again, just like Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin is at the very, very lows, while ETH, its lows are down here. Call it a grand 1050 as its main support level down here where my yellow dotted line is. So ETH a little bit of a different picture than Bitcoin, but still in a very similar spot where we're at a major support level. And again, the market's either going to go up, down, or sideways, but when we're at these major levels, realistically, it's either going to go up or down. It's going to break through or it's going to hold and it's going to bounce, right? And if it goes sideways, it still has to bounce first. So it's either up or down right now, critical level. And really the safest way to do things, of course, if you're more of a risk-averse trader, is to wait for the market to confirm a breakdown if you're bearish, right? So a breakdown confirmed would be, again, if we lose this level over here. I like my gray zone right here at 1245. That's more of an accurate representation. You can see this is right where the daily candles opened and closed just 2 days ago. We know it's a strong level, okay? So really, confirmation for the bears right now is going to be a drop and a close beneath the gray zone at 1245, and then you retest it as resistance before moving down lower. If we do lose this support level, 1050 is going to get tested very, very quickly here on Ethereum. And again, if we hold this level, then we need to see 1400, 1420 get reclaimed. Even if we hold right now and we go back up to 1420, but if we get rejected hard, still super bearish. I'm still not going to start looking for longs unless we can actually reclaim close above $1,400. All right, so again, we're in a very interesting, peculiar spot right now with Bitcoin, with Ethereum, and I want to show you a lot of the altcoins during this live stream and go over a lot of trade setups with the altcoins. So be sure to stick with me throughout the entirety of this stream. And if you are enjoying the content so far, be sure to let me know by smashing up that like button down below. Also, if you're brand new to Crypto Empire and you're not already subscribed, go ahead right now and smash that subscribe button down below. And of course, turn on all the notifications so that you don't miss any future videos here at Crypto Empire, where we dominate the crypto market. I'm going to go ahead right now and catch up with the live chat, see what's going on. So going back to the chat, we can see we got Kai Loop saying, hello, all glad I was able to catch this live stream. Let the gains be with us. Absolutely. We got Moby Sage saying, hey, Connor, thanks for getting me through the next hour of my workday. This is perfect. Good to see you here, Moby. Always a pleasure to have you. We got Expendable Youth saying you with some flames. Good to see you, Expendable Youth, getting some hype up in the chat. And we have Dev asking about Hex. My thoughts about Hex. So I've shared this in previous live streams. So Hex, I would rather go for Richard Hart's kind of newer products than Hex, because Hex basically has a ton of holders that have been in it from the very, very early days, and they've just been staking. Right, they've just been accruing and accumulating rewards. If we look here on Hex, on the higher time frames, whether it's the 3-day or the weekly chart, we can see that price was bear flagging. Right, I drew this on a stream a few weeks ago. Price was bear flagging. Now it went ahead and broke down through the bear flag. So if we take a measured move of this flagpole, this is the longest flagpole possible. Right, I can possibly shorten it to like the first drop here if I wanted to. Regardless, can it get down to 1 cent? Yeah, I mean, this measure move would take it right down to 1 cent. So definitely possible, to answer your question, Dev, that Hex can make it down to 1 cent, just based purely off of the technicals here. If you also factor in the fundamentals, the fact that Hex has a ton of early community members, stakers that have been accruing rewards for years now, and they're going to one day sell and dump on the market, you know, I wouldn't really be interested in Hex. I think his other ones, his newer, shinier ones like Pulse Chain, would offer a better return. So that's my thoughts on Hex. Yeah, pretty neutral on it altogether, right? I'm definitely not a part of the cult, and I'm not against it. I'm very neutral on it, right? I just take it how it is. We got Panjat, what's his name? Pankaj asking about XRP. Let's check out XRP right now. So he's asking, will XRP retest 55 cents? Very good question. So if we look at XRP, I want to take this to a daily. So obviously we went ahead and we broke. Let's get a clean XRP chart. I want it completely clean. So XRP here on the weekly, we can go ahead and get rid of these lines for now. You can always add them back on later. But if we look at XRP on the very higher term time frames, we get some very interesting things, some interesting data here. Okay, so first of all, on the weekly, if we just connect the absolute highest highs possible, we still have a little bit room to run to the high of this trend line, which is going to be at around 60 cents, 61, 62 cents. If it happens this week, all right? If it happens next week, it's going to be slightly lower, around 60.59. Okay, so can XRP retest 55 cents? Yes, it certainly can retest 55 cents on the higher time frames, right? If we zoom this down to a daily chart, this is interesting because a lot of cryptos, I'm going to show you a lot of them in this stream, but a lot of cryptos on their daily chart look like this. A very long basing pattern. If you look on the 3-day, right, this is accumulation on the higher term time frames. There's no huge price swings. There's just these short, very small, little narrow candles. All right, this is a telltale sign of accumulation. A lot of cryptos look like XRP, but they haven't actually broken out of their range just yet. So XRP, if we take a trend line and we draw it across the highs of the range, very obvious here, price went ahead and broke out from this range, broke the trend line, and it's been off to the races ever since that breakout. Of course, yesterday was a mega day for XRP. Gained, what, 30% in one day. 22 to the high, it was around 27% on the day. So that's quite a very, very strong move for XRP. Just to answer your question, though, yes, price can go ahead and make it back up to 55. The high of this trend line would take place at around 60, 61 cents, 62 cents. So certainly possible. And again, if we look to the left, we always want to have some confluence with these levels. So if we look at this support level, will now be used as resistance. That's at 58. Okay, so looks pretty good for a test. And if we pull a fib line as well and just measure these fractals, we are going to get the 50%, which is a very, very common Fibonacci retracement level, to get tested again right here again at 60 cents. Okay, so 60 cents. We already got a ton of selling at 55, right? If we look to the left again, we have these wicks here. But 60 cents is going to be another huge resistance area for XRP. And listen, if it breaks 50 cents, that's major. Because I'll zoom it back out for everybody on the weekly, right? This weekly trend line lines up with all of these levels. The fib, the horizontal resistance, all right here at 60. Major point here on the chart. I would expect it to get tested at the very minimum. And listen, this is a big, big major resistance level. So if you think price is just going to go right through it, it usually doesn't work like that. Usually it takes a few attempts on the higher term time frames to break through these major resistance or support levels. So don't expect it to just get melted through like butter. However, if only if the SEC loses the lawsuit case and XRP wins, then possibly it can melt through this trend line like butter, like a hot knife through butter, right? It would be something like this, parabolic. Who knows what's going to happen, though? It could happen tomorrow, we get the verdict. It could happen in 2 months, 3 months from now. Pure speculation as it stands. Nobody knows. So the only play to make with XRP, if you're comfortable taking the risk, is to buy it. And if it turns out to be a bust, a dud, if it gets declared a security or something like that, then you just move it over to your long-term portfolio and you have to hold on to it, right? Or it could work out beautifully and you could potentially make an absolute killing. Where could this go if it does end up breaking 60 cents? Well, let's discuss that right now. We'll just use the fib. We have our 78.6 and our 88.6 at around 78 to 85 cents. So let's go ahead and outline this with a red supply area like so, and leave that marked up on the chart as our target here for XRP, only if it can actually go ahead and break this level at 60 cents. Okay, but very interesting. I have this article here talking about why XRP is pumping, and we can read XRP attracts buyers after the hope of positive court ruling triggers a 25% rally above a key longer-term resistance level. Okay, so it's pure speculation. We can see that this gentleman here, James K. Phelan, said that the parties have filed a request that any motions by third parties to seal portions of the parties' summary judgments filings to be filed such as courts September 12, 2022. It's all jargon to me, legal jargon, whatever. Yada, 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 yada. Let's see. Anything else interesting here? Not really, all right? It's pure speculation based off of the lawsuit coming out in a favorable result. All right, so that's XRP. Again, our target here, if it can actually break 60, would be up here 85, highest maybe 91. Past that, we're getting into just complete parabola territory. Right, it would look something like this, like so. Right, and that's just pretty unrealistic. But hey, it can happen. Crazier things have happened. But we'll see if it can actually go in a parabolic run. I'll leave this parabola on the chart here, and we will reflect back on it in a few weeks and see what actually happens. I'll make it even steeper like this, like that. All right, but that's XRP. Now I want to show you a few other altcoins that look similar to this bottom basing pattern. Okay, and these are good indicators of a flip from a bear market to a bull market when we start getting these crazy breakouts. So let's look at a few more like this. One of them is of course Cardano ADA. If we look at Cardano, we can go to a cleaner chart just because all my lines aren't completely necessary for this analysis. So if we look at Cardano ADA, of course, all-time high, if we look on the weekly, is going to be up here at $3.09, trading at 45 cents right now. So from the all-time high, it is down 85% plus, okay? And the interesting part is 40 cents is the new $1 level. If you guys recall $1, I have it drawn because throughout 2021, I would always talk about Cardano and that $1 support level and how well it actually held up. Once it broke through, now it looks like 40 cents is the new $1 with how well the support level is holding up. Right? I can just place a line and we can see it's right at 40 cents. Every single time price touches 40 cents, we get a strong bounce of at least like 20%, right? First time, 66% bounce. This time, bounce of 40%. So every time price touches 40 cents, we get a large bounce. Right now, this support at 42, 43 cents is holding. But again, we need to be aware of where this is at on the overall map because we're at a major longer-term support level and we're at the bottom of this range. This range has been going for, if I take a time and date measurement, this range has been going for 135 days. On XRP, let's just check again. how long that was going for. And XRP, this range was going for 133 days. Same exact thing. Okay, so Cardano, similar, but it has not broken out yet. Cardano also rumored to be compliant with the ISO 20022, which puts it on the Banker Coin list if that is confirmed to be compliant. So it would be very good if XRP wins. I think Cardano would fly as well. It has that pump potential, which is why I'm discussing it with you right now. So if we draw this trend line on ADA, connecting all of the candle bodies and wicks as much as we can go ahead and see that this is a descending triangle. Why is this a descending triangle? We have lower highs, and equal lows at horizontal support. Typically, this is bearish. But when we have these crazy fundamental events, right, like XRP winning the lawsuit, that could totally throw out the bearish picture out of the window. Okay, so we're going to see what happens here. Price is pinching. Price action is getting narrower, right? We're continuing to make lower highs and we're holding the support. Typically, when we have this formation on the chart, it usually ends up breaking down lower, which again is why I discuss Bitcoin and Ethereum first before talking about all the exciting altcoins that look like they want to go crazy, right? We need to stay grounded and stay realistic by looking at Bitcoin and Ethereum, because Bitcoin below 19,500, like I said, very bearish. Ethereum below 1,400 is also very, very bearish. Okay, but here with Cardano, if we just stick to analyzing using Bitcoin and ETH, then we would for sure just expect this to break down from this descending triangle. But if we bring the XRP lawsuit into the conversation, it completely changes everything, adds a whole nother dimension of game theory into the charts here. Because if that happens in a positive light, this thing's just gonna fly. It's gonna fly out of here, go right back to that $1 resistance level now. Okay, but Cardano, have it on your charts. 40 cents all-time high, 85% away. Still a good time to DCA for the very, very longer term. But I do eventually think, even if we do get a pump here, maybe back to the top of the range. The top of the range is up here at around 70 cents. Even if we go up and test the top of the range, I do expect this level to get broken down through eventually. It could be in 2-3 months from now. It could be, well into 2023, January, February, even March of 2023. I expect the entire crypto market to make new lows next year or late this year, right? I don't think that this bear market is over, but we could be due for a little short-term pump here with everything going on. Okay, so that's one of the coins I wanted to show you that's been going sideways. Another one is Algo. I shared Algo in my Discord a few weeks ago. I want to go ahead and catch up with the live chat real quick before I continue with this. We got Rigoberto with us today. Rigoberto is saying, good day everyone, ETH to 1,000. Definitely possible, Rigoberto. 1050 is the level I have on my chart. And like I said, below 1,400, things are pretty bearish for ETH. Stocks are melting down right now. And ETH can definitely head to 1050 to 1,000. We got McNaz96 with us today. McNaz96 saying, how come Terra Luna went down so much in price, but is still fairly large in market cap? It's ranked like number 38, and last time it ranked at 38, it was worth much more. So McNaz, Terra Luna actually collapsed. It was an algorithmic stablecoin protocol, and it had a multi-hundred billion dollar market cap. What am I saying? It had a very, very large market cap, okay? So it still has a $1.7 billion market cap. Pretty much a ton of money got lost because it crashed. So why is it still relevant? Well, it was like number 8 in the overall crypto market. And it still crashed, but a lot of people just didn't sell it. They're still holding the Terra Luna Classic coins because it just pretty much got transferred over and they got a new airdrop of regular Luna. So they had no reason to sell. It went to zero. So they're not going to pull their money out. So a lot of the capital just stayed in it. Would I touch this now? It's pretty much the biggest meme coin in crypto. So a pure gamble, but they're going to start burning the supply. As you can see, the supply shot up into the trillions here. So they're going to start burning supply, which could be good long term. Apparently 60% of the overall supply will start to get burned over time. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, it's a meme coin and pretty much people that were holding it before just never sold it into cash. So the market cap stayed relatively high to answer your question. Rigoberto saying HBAR to be listed on Coinbase around October 16th. Could it pump? Absolutely. Again, HBAR similar to XRP. It's a banker coin. Okay, and again, also similar to XRP. What do we have here? We have a long sideways basing pattern. All right, if we take the top of the range, some people might start it over here in June. The first initial crash was over here in May. So if I take it from May to where we are now, again, we have a 135-day sideways pattern here at this major support level at 6 cents. Okay, HBAR, literally, if this loses it, we're coming down here to 4 to 5 cents. Okay, so again, a major inflection point on the chart. It's either going to bounce or it's going to break down through. If we go sideways, it still has to bounce. Okay, so can HBAR pump? Absolutely, it could. In terms of a risk-reward standpoint, look, I mean, this is like a great spot on the chart because you're so close to the bottom that you can just put your stop loss and risk very minimal if it does end up being positive from here, right? If this thing really wants to break the range, top of the range is here at 8 cents. Right, as you can see, if we look to the left, we had this previous support level now used as resistance. Okay, so this is the top of our current range. And from current price to the top of that range, it's still 42%. Okay, that's pretty good. That's not horrible right there. If it wants to break out of the range, it's going to take it up here to 10 cents, which is 85%. Highly possible. And if we zoom this out to like a 3-day, our 3-day level is up here at 13 cents. Without getting too crazy. And that's 132% away from current price. So you're over 2x to 13, 14 cents. So from a risk reward standpoint, it looks super good. But again, things are definitely leaning way more on the bearish side right now. Do want to see where the fear and greed index is at currently. Look, in a bear market, it's going to stay in extreme greed like forever, just like in a bull market. Or I mean, in a bear market, it will stay in extreme fear forever, whereas in a bull market, it stays at extreme greed forever. So right now, it's at a 20, still low. Like I said, it's been down here for a long time. If we look at the year, in the bull market, it's up here 80 in extreme greed, and in the bear market, it's down here in extreme fear forever. Okay, so this thing was in the tens though back in June when price was making its lows. Okay, and we're now back at these low levels, and the market isn't as fearful. Okay, so that's interesting right there. And again, also, if I show you CoinGlass, always a good idea to take a look at this historical data chart on Bitcoin, and we go to the returns percentage on the monthly. And if we look at September, typically September is going to be a double-digit red month. Right now we're minus 6.3% on the month. So there's still some room for price to crash lower. We're going to see what happens this weekend. It's going to be a super interesting weekend here, especially with Monday, the 26th, and going to be the market open then. We'll see if there's blood on the streets then. I'm kind of leaning towards blood on the streets on Monday. We'll see what happens. But HBAR, to answer your question, Rigoberto, it can pump for sure, but understand if you want to trade it on the long side, you got to use a tight stop beneath this wick low, and there is a buy zone just below it, right? So if this just breaks, it's going to go right into a major cluster of demand. That's where I'm looking to buy some more HBAR as well, all right? Let's see. Pan Cage from India. Good to see you, Pan Cage. Thanks for your support. Rigoberto saying, late to the stream. Any word on when the XRP lawsuit could end? So Rigoberto, I explained this briefly. Basically, with the XRP lawsuit, it's all speculation. Nobody knows when it's actually going to end. All the people buying it right now are anticipating it ending very soon, but there's no dates announced at all. So it is pure speculation right now for XRP. Okay, but that's HBAR. Another altcoin with these long sideways basing patterns, that's a good idea to watch, okay? Because this is going to be very telling. If it bounces and it starts to make a run at the top of the range, could make things very interesting. Another one like that is Algorand, which is also another banker coin. If we look at Algorand breaking out from the top of its range, okay? Algo going sideways. If we take a date measurement from this low over here back in May to the current time, 134 days again. Okay, so all these coins are identical in the fact that they just went sideways for 4 months and now they're starting to move. Now they're starting to break out. This is how crypto works. This is how crypto has always worked. Long periods of nothing followed by extreme volatility. Okay, now we're getting that extreme volatility to the upside. We can see here on Algorand, Algorand breaking the top of the range. Top of the range was over here at 38 cents. Price back beneath it. Okay, but regardless, top of the range is this green dotted line, wicked to 40 cents multiple times. This is following XRP, because if XRP gets deemed as a non-security, it's going to be very favorable for Algorand as well. They're right in the same camp there. Interesting though, if it can actually break this range, and I want to take some trend lines. Let's go to a weekly. So that won't come into play just yet, but if we look at a steeper one like this, take that wick out of account, something more like that. With this week's candle now, we have broken this trend line, okay? As you can see, all these connection points, this is a tested trend line on the weekly time frame, now broken through. Very interesting. Okay, this is very interesting, very telling. When we have these major macro trend line breaks like this, it does usually signal a strong, kind of trend reversal here. An example, there's many examples, but one I like to show is VRA. As you can see, VRA here, right, from the March 2020 lows, or from December 2020, price went on a major uptrend. And then when this trend line was broken, that was the start of the bear market, okay? Now, Algo is the opposite now, where price has been going down for months from November, and now price broke the trend line to the upside. Okay, so I see this clearly. I see this happening. I'm not ignorant to the fact that these major macro trend lines are breaking, and usually the higher the time frame, the more reliable the technical analysis. So you can't really ignore this. All right, this is serious, and this could potentially, right, like this is interesting here because it's such a high term time frame trend line. It's on the weekly, and price just obliterated it. All right, so this could be the start of a major uptrend, objectively speaking. No personal bias at all. Could definitely be the start of a major uptrend. Another one like that is CRO, Cronos, crypto.com. Right, if we look at CRO, again on the daily time frame, sorry, I just got a stupid text message from somebody I'm doing a business deal with. Stupid message. I'll respond to that later. Anyway, CRO. Let's go to a cleaner chart. So if we look at this one, again, if we take a date measurement, over here, 105 days from June, and if we go to the initial move down, it's going to be just 135 days again, just like all the other ones. Okay, so CRO, let's put a line up here at 17. Let's put another line right here at the top of the range at 15.5, and then one at the bottom of the range here at 10. Okay, yesterday's daily candle was very strong off of the support level. That's right here. Okay, so that's good. And if we go to the weekly, and again, if we draw a trend line on the higher time frame, little pro tip for everybody. If you want your trend lines to be easier to draw, you can draw it from right to left like this instead of left to right like this. It's going to make it easier to connect the highs and draw the line that you're looking for. And if we look at this one on CRO, it has not, right? Algo has broken its trend line. CRO has not, but it looks like it wants to. Okay, so if you want to play this move, this is possible to play it. I wouldn't really recommend leverage with this. So you can do it spot and still make a killing if it actually does work out. But this is another kind of banker coin, right? CRO, I've always been super skeptical about it. I don't know why the stop loss is so big here, but I've always been super skeptical about CRO since I really started following what they were doing since 2020, because they would always like screw over their customers and their, the people that use their exchange. They would always, do things to just screw over their user base, and it always seemed like a major data grab to me, a major centralized data grab. So I would classify that in the banker coin section of the crypto market, right? When it's just sketchy overall. But anyway, it's a good thing for that, for CRO, if coins like XRP are pumping, right? It's kind of in the same camp. And we can see right here, if we wanted to play this, you're risking 17% to a breakdown of the lows. So if you take this spot, let's say you put 10K into CRO, anticipating that it breaks this weekly trend line to the upside. You put $10,000 in, worst case scenario, it comes down, breaks the lows and hits your stop. You lose 17%, meaning at $10,000, you only lose around $1,700, where on the upside, you have just at the top of the range here, a 45% upside, which on a $10,000 spot position means that you can make $4,500. So that's pretty good risk reward there. Interesting. I mean, I'm heavily leading on the short side of things, but when we have these banker coins breaking these major weekly levels, we have to pay attention to it. We have to throw our personal bias out the window and simply go off of what the charts are telling us, the technical analysis, because people lie, numbers don't. The charts usually don't lie, all right? It's all written here. If you can learn to decipher the language of the charts, you can start to pick up on this stuff. And I make a lot of content to basically explain this. So if you do like the content, be sure to hit that subscribe button down below and stick around, smash up that like button as well. Anyway, CRO, 135-day basing at this weekly trend line. Let's go through another one, all right? What is another one that looks like this? Link. Chainlink, interesting as well. Why is that? Well, let's look at the higher term time frame. Look at where we are. This is a weekly trend line. Multiple touches. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're now in the 5th, 6th, 7th attempt to break from this weekly trend line. Right? Chainlink, biggest oracle in crypto. It's not going anywhere. It's going to be here for a long time. If we look at this on the 4-hour, from that weekly trend line and on the 4-hour, what do we have? We have a pinch. This is going to break out in either direction very soon. If we look at Chainlink here, the price is pinching. This upper trend line is the weekly, and this one just here in the 4-hour. Looks like it wants to roll over. We also have a resistance level at $7.28. The price is having a hard time getting through, and I bet you if I pull a fib, that looks like it's going to be right at the 50%. And yes, it is, right? Yes, my eyes are that well trained and that well seasoned to be able to see the percentage move even before I do pull the Fibonacci retracement tool, all right? That's just called the seasoned eye right there. Anyway, 50% long-term trend line. Looks like it wants to roll over. Now holding on to that support level. If we do lose the support, trade would look something like this. This is a short term. risking 4.5 down to the lows here. Not a very good risk reward at all. Right, you're looking at like a 1-to-1 to the 0.27. Yeah, it's okay. You can maybe get a 2-to-1 out of this if it goes and breaks the lows. But yeah, this looks like it wants to roll over here in the short term. All my other charts, I was looking on the weekly and the daily. This is a 4-hour. So when I change the time frames, the analysis is going to be different. All right, you should all be able to pick up on that kind of stuff. But if you don't understand that, I suggest that you go through to my YouTube channel, you go to playlists, and you go to trading tutorials. We're trading tutorials here, and you go through this playlist and you get familiar with how things work. All right, but that's Link. But anyway, on the long side of things with Link, let's say, right, if we go to the 1-hour chart, let's say on the long side, we can play the other side of the coin, and we think that this support at $7 is going to hold on Chainlink, okay? With my gray box, the ends of those gray boxes are always key levels, something to know for all my viewers watching from home. Okay, so we're right now at the support level. So on the other side, if support does actually hold, I would want to put my stop beneath this low. You're risking around 2.4%. And yeah, I mean, to the top, on the long side, you have a better risk reward. You have a better risk reward on the long side, okay? And that's only if this trend line can actually go ahead and hold. It is still holding right now. This is not a confirmed breakdown yet, all right? So this is how your long trade would look. And you have a better risk reward profile on the long side for a Link up to $7.50 from $7. And if this thing does actually, if XRP maybe wins or this market keeps on going up in the short term, you can maybe even get a move up to around 8 and get a really nice trade there on the long side, okay? Let's catch up with the live chat right now. Let's see, Moby Sage says, thanks for looking at ADA. That's one of my DCA coins, looking for sub 40 cents, breakdown to deploy a big amount of cash. I like that, Moby. That's a good plan. Rigoberto saying, appreciate the live stream today, Connor. I'm happy to do it, Rigoberto. I appreciate you being here and your positive encouragement here in the live chat. Thank you for your support. McNaz96 saying, thanks for explaining Terra Luna. No problem, McNaz. Glad it all makes sense. Kai Loop saying, would you say October should be a bump based on how the market is performing now in September? When you say bump, do you mean like a bump up? It's possible. Let's see. October historically is a very, very good month. Typically, we see green in October. So based off of the data, yes, we could possibly get a bump up higher. We got Magnus Westerblada saying, how low do you think Monero go to? Let's look at XMR and go over that right now. So if we look at Monero, how low can it go? The ideal situation is $100 on XMR. And we don't want to look at the Bybit contract. Let's look at a different exchange here on Binance. So realistically, we want to see Monero at $100. I'm a big buyer at 100, right? When price was down here, that's the last time I actually bought Monero, was down here around $100, right? Listen, if you're not buying down here, there's major critical support and you want to FOMO into it when it's back up here above 200, 300, you're doing it wrong. You want to buy at these major support levels. 100 is one of those main levels. It's doubtful that Monero loses $100. Also, we can look at the Bitcoin chart. If we even go to a monthly, right? Monero broke this trend line on Bitcoin on the monthly, and this has been a 4-year downtrend. Okay, this goes back to 2017. The peak is in 2017 of August. It is now past August of 2022, so it's actually a 5-year downtrend Monero has broken versus Bitcoin. You got all the people saying, oh, privacy coins, they're never going to do anything. They're going to get banned. It just broke a 5-year downtrend versus Bitcoin. All right, it was getting outperformed by Bitcoin for 5 years. It just broke that bear market. This is major. You don't want to ignore this. Right? You can continue to play the narrative that the news drills into your head. Privacy coin's bad. Or you can get with the times, look at the charts, and understand what's at play here and what's at stake. So how low can Monero go? 100? I mean, maybe we see 70 to 80, but doubtful the way how strong it is and the way that it's outperforming Bitcoin right now. Maybe we see 70 to 80 though at the lowest. Since we're on this topic, let's go to the Bitcoin dominance chart and look at this as well. So Bitcoin dominance, of course, was down here, breaking the lows actually last week or 2 weeks ago now, right? Price or Bitcoin dominance went as low as 38.84%. It had a very strong bounce over a period of 4 days, and then it double topped, okay? And it also is now heading lower back down to the support at 40%. So Bitcoin dominance hanging down here towards the lows, which is why we're seeing things like XRP and all these other coins continue to pump, because Bitcoin is not performing well relative to altcoins. That's when Bitcoin dominance is this low. Also, if you look at Ethereum dominance, even Ethereum dominance is falling right now too. So money is trickling out of the majors like Bitcoin and ETH. And that is why we're seeing altcoins like XRP, Algo, Cardano, CRO have so much strength. That's where the capital is flowing here in the short term, okay? Let's see, we got Fire Up saying, yeah, bro, get with the time, bro. Glad you agree with me, Fire Up. And Adrian Kent giving that thumbs up. Dalton Moore asking, Connor, do you wake up in the morning and piss excellence? Ricky Bobby. Pretty much, Dalton, pretty much. Rigoberto saying, so much alpha in this stream. If you agree, smash the like button with some fireworks. Thank you, Rigoberto. Glad that you're enjoying the stream so far. Kai Loop saying, glad to hear you put your personal bias aside. Sometimes that prevents you from making the right moves. It certainly does, especially in the financial markets. You cannot have your personal bias with it, or bias with it. You need to do what the charts are telling you to do. Okay? And we got Magnus Westerblada saying, thanks for going through it. No problem, Magnus. Appreciate your support. So yes, Ethereum dominance also losing steam, getting rejected from this 20.5% level. So again, we're seeing the smaller coins get that flow of capital. If we look at the dollar ripping today, okay? So that's very bearish for risk on assets. Dollar breaking out to new highs right now. We go to the monthly for the dollar, and I mean, it just broke a huge level at 111, right? So it's about to be 113. Its high is just over 113, right? So dollar insanely strong. Of course, when the Fed raises rates, that makes the dollar stronger and risk on assets weaker. And with the Fed announcing that 75 basis point rate hike yesterday, it basically means they're going to be hiking interest rates into 2023. So I'm also in the real estate industry. I know real estate very well. And a lot of people are like, interest rates can't go any higher. Listen, 6% is the average, right? It's the average over time. It can easily go above 10, all right? And that just means a lot of pain for a lot of people financially, because it'll be totally priced out of the housing market. If you're not borrowing money, then interest rates don't really, directly affect you. But yeah, if you're borrowing money, if you're trying to buy a house, your monthly payments are going through the roof right now. And it doesn't look like this is going to stop. Fed going to keep on raising rates. So, yeah, if you want to lock it in now, yeah, maybe you want to do that. Okay, let's continue and look at a few more coins before we go ahead and start to wrap things up on this Friday. So, Cosmos Atom has been one of the stronger coins on the market. Atom, one of the stronger coins on the market, and now it is losing its steam. as you can see, went ahead and double topped, lost this trend line as well on the daily. Okay, so Atom is kind of the opposite of the banker coins where it's decentralized, and a lot of this run up, this is very important right now. I want to go to a clean Atom chart and go over what this chart is telling me. So let's head over to Qcoin. We'll go to FTX, that's fine, whatever. Okay, so on this daily price chart, this is a slow grind up. If you look at these lows, these continuous higher lows, there have really been no breaches of the lows. There's been no stop outs, no stop loss hunts to get the longs out. It's just been up, 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 up. Very easy, you know, no flush outs, no leverage flush outs that we typically see very often. So what does this mean? It means that when these lows start to break, and they will break, this will not go up forever. When these lows start to break, we just got a $1.99 super chat from Mr. Sellers Homes saying, good to see you live at times like these, bro. Mr. Sellers Homes, thank you for your support. Thank you for that $2 super chat. Greatly appreciate that. Now with Atom, as I was saying, when we have no stop loss hunts and just a slow grind up for months, it's going to come crashing down eventually. When these lows start to break, there are so many stops put beneath all these lows by traders, okay? When the lows start to break, it's going to be a cascade waterfall down. Okay, so could it be right now? It could possibly be, right? Price very close, very, very, very close to this daily trend line. And it's losing steam for sure. And if we look to the left, $17 is where it's actually losing steam. And if we take the entire impulse move down from $5 up to up here at 33, we're getting rejected right here at 38.2% retracement. Okay, so it lines up with a common fib level. And typically the 38.2 is the level for continuation. What does that mean when I say for continuation? It means the market moves in one direction. It likes to retrace to the 38.2, get rejected there, and then continue in the direction. Okay, so this is a prime candidate for a trend reversal. All right, Atom, while all the other coins were going sideways, right? I pulled all the measurements. All the other coins have been going sideways for 135 days. Atom has been uptrending. Okay, so it's very different from the other ones I showed earlier in the stream, completely different chart. And yes, this looks like it's a prime candidate for a trend reversal here. Another thing to consider is the Cosmoverse conference taking place in Medellin, Colombia this weekend actually. And they're announcing the Atom 2.0 tokenomics. It's like think of it as a hard fork. Think of it as the Ethereum merge. It's a major fundamental event. Probably another buy the rumor, sell the news. All right. So Atom, prime candidate for a trend reversal. Shorts, it's too much risk to above the highs. It's 30%. Right, so that really doesn't work. But if we drop this down to a shorter term time frame and you want to take more risk, anticipating a trend line break, you know, maybe you want to put it above these highs here, but still you're looking at still too much. 12%, still a little too much for my liking. But anyways, have an eye on Atom, prime candidate for a bearish trend to start forming there. All right, guys, if we don't have any requests, I mean, I can keep on going. I can do this all day long. I can stream for 12 hours straight if I want to, right? It's not hard for me to do this, and I really do enjoy it. But I do have a very busy, jam-packed schedule today. So one more before we start to wrap things up. Let's just take a look at ETH again. ETH hasn't done anything since I started the stream, right? If we look at the new hourly candle and the previous hourly candle, we're getting these dojis. These all represent indecision in the market. The market is unsure on which direction it actually wants to continue in right now. All right, so we're going to see what does actually develop from this. Market is unsure as of right now, holding the lows. Very briefly, if we're reading price action, which is what I do primarily, that's also what I teach in my course at cryptoempirecode.io, how to become a price action expert. All right, if you're interested in learning more about that, go to my website and check out the Premium Elite Trading course. But if we're reading price action, we want to look at every single candle body and every single candle wick and what it's telling us. Okay, so this crash, I'll show you very quickly. Here in my Discord, I put out this trade idea on ETH to get in at 1321, stop at 1400. Like I said in the beginning of the stream, 1400 is that key level on Ethereum, right? Price below $1,400 is very bearish. But anyway, I shared that idea last night, and as you can see from that level, it has dropped around 6%, but that's not the point. The point is, if we look at where it dropped to the support level. Okay, it's also a demand zone. What do we have? We have a rally-based strong move up. So we can outline the demand zone right here like so. Turn this green for demand. But one thing I want you to take note of is the candle bodies, okay? Look where the candle bodies closed here, and notice how they closed higher over here, all right? So that's could be double bottom potentially. Looks like price is about to push up. Yeah, price is ripping now on ETH. Okay, so shorts, definitely you should have your stop loss at least at break even. You should not be risking anything if you were short from up here at around 1320 to 1340, as I mentioned last night, right? You don't want to risk anything on this position. Have it risk free. But how these candle bodies closed, how this closed above these bodies, that's bullish. That's a bullish signal to me. That means support's holding strong, buyers are stepping in, and even with this high volume red candle, still a lot of buying to bid it up here. So it looks like the market wants to make another stab at 1350 and possibly run up at the highs at 1400. This is what we're looking for now as we head into the weekend. Very exciting. This is live action right here. Live action, as I think Bear Grylls said that in his show on the Discovery Channel. Maybe not Bear Grylls, it could have been somebody else, but I know somebody was coined for saying live action. That's ETH. Bitcoin, again, before we wrap it up, on the hourly, trying to punch up higher. This also looks like a bear flag. Right, also definitely looks like a bear flag too. Anybody who knows the number 7, right, we have the 7-year cycle as well this weekend. I'm not going to get too into it on YouTube. It's kind of like, if you have never heard about it, you have no idea what I'm talking about. But there is a 7-year cycle, right? If you look, 2008, markets collapsed. 2001, markets collapsed. 1987, also in that 7-year cycle, we had Black Monday. But pretty much September 26th is the end of that 7-year cycle. So if we want to go off of this kind of pattern of the 7s, then the market should crash horribly on Monday, which is why I'm leaning on the bearish side. So we'll see what happens. Regardless, we will continue to see how it goes. We're in the depth of the bear market. In terms of my current positions, I'm flat heading into the weekend right now. Right, when we have such conflicting signals, I just like to stay out of it and wait till I have a really clear defined edge in play to go ahead and trade off of. Let's see, Kai Loop saying, thoughts on Maker. Thanks for the stream today. Yeah, we can look at Maker real quick, my man. No problem. So Maker on the daily. This is the first thing I see. All right, some possible bullish divergence there. And I want to get a weekly. So on the weekly, super steep fall. This looks like it needs to bounce sooner or later, right? Look at the trajectory of this fall. It's like straight down. This looks like it wants to bounce. And also look where it is bouncing from right now, from this weekly demand level at 500. I remember before the bull market started, before this parabolic run up, I remember this period when Maker was just going sideways at 500 forever. Now we made it back down to it. This is a weekly demand level, so you would expect a bounce from this area, okay? We could definitely come deeper into the demand zone before the bounce, but this looks like it needs to bounce. Look at the trajectory of the fall, right? You can call this a reverse parabola, something like this, right? Bit of a reverse parabola over here on MakerDAO. So yeah, we'll see if it breaks the parabola. Remember, parabolas are always the steepest at the end of them. So if it breaks these trend lines, it's going to basically go for a run, and it's bouncing off a weekly demand. So another prime candidate for a bullish trend reversal here, but of course it could drop lower into this demand zone around 500. Hope that helps, Kai Loop. Expendable Youth saying, appreciate your time, brother. Appreciate your support. Thanks for being here. And Mr. Sellers Holmes calling it Call of the Wild Man. Yes, Call of the Wild Man. Was that the name of the show? Could have been. Luigi Torres saying, bro, can you technical analyze EOS? Last one before we end the stream, EOS. So EOS here on the weekly. Let's actually go to a daily. EOS on the daily. Again, this looks pretty similar to things like Cardano, Algorand, CRO, where we have this really long basing pattern. Okay. If we look at this, 135 days sideways, 134 days. Price tried to get out of the top of the range. But failed to do so. Looks like it's wedging. Bit of a wedge. And so we have that falling wedge here. And we also have this. All right, holding the golden pockets, kind of losing it. But if there's going to be a bounce, it's going to be right here on UOS. Right, this is a daily demand level. If there's going to be any bounce, it's going to be right here. If not, well then we come back down to $1 on EOS. Right, so we're either bouncing or we're going to $1. No in between. And risk reward's horrible on that, so I wouldn't even trade it. But that's my EOS analysis. All right, all. Time to end this one. Mr. Sellers Home saying, Call the Wild Man was the show. Interesting. We got to watch an episode. And Dre saying, thanks so much for coming to us live on this beautiful Friday. Connor, my pleasure. Dre, thank you for being here, keeping the chat nice and organized. I hope that everybody did enjoy this live stream. It was a very eventful live stream, and we went over both the shorter term analysis on a lot of altcoins, as well as the higher term time frame analysis. Remember, Bitcoin below 19,500, super bearish. Ethereum below 1,400, also super bearish. If these coins, if ETH can reclaim 1,400, if Bitcoin can reclaim 19,500, then I'll be looking for longs. Until then, I'm still leaning on the short side. I hope that you guys did enjoy this live stream. If you did, again, if you haven't already, smash up that like button right now. If you're brand new to Crypto Empire, smash up that subscribe button. Turn on all the notifications so that you don't miss any future videos. I'll see you all very soon in the next video. Be good. Join the free Telegram group. If you're interested, definitely join the Discord group. I am in there every single day, giving you my thoughts, my analysis, my trades, what I'm buying, what I'm selling. I do daily video market updates, or not daily right now, but I'm doing video market updates a few a week. So definitely get in there for exclusive videos from myself, Connor, the Crypto Emperor, here at Crypto Empire, where we dominate the crypto market. Have an